Let's get this party started into the pistol. All right, a best of 3. We're into the playoffs. A very good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you're watching from. VP starting on the attacking side. The analyst not surprised to be seeing Inferno. I imagine neither are you.
Oh, I was almost freaking out there, but they decided to start slowly, Alex. So we can
start slowly, Chad. I mean, this is Virtus.pro.
Slowly, play slowly. Make sure you set aside the next 3.5 hours because you're going to need it.
Yeah, we've got a feature-length movie of Virtus.pro versus Vitality. So strap in, grab your popcorn.
How long does the first Lord of the Rings take?
Oh, it's a solid 2.5 hours, I reckon.
Okay, well, we'll be rivaling that here, but looks like we're setting up for a heavy B execute. Look at all these nades.
Here we go. ZywOo Masuta hanging out for contact, and he's going to have to find a couple of heads, and they are starting to look like good clicks. Masuta with one, and it's ZywOo up front. Keeping it easy. Double frag. No one's yet to trade for VP, and ZywOo, the flames aren't going to stop him. And neither are Virtus.pro, just Sanji peppered away at through the smoke. Vitality, solid defense of that B site. Not much more you can say when ZywOo says no.
And that's what they're going to need over towards that B site here, right? We've spoken about it plenty of times in the past. Maybe you've been around for the Navira era of Vitality when you saw them bolster their defense on this very map. Now things are not great for Vitality on Inferno.
2, 3, 4.
Don't look at me, mate.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
My German is broken, so my French is even worse.
Well, I can count to 4, I think. There we go. That's as far as I can get. And my petit déjeuner. I'll tell you about my breakfast later.
Pirouette?
Perhaps.
There we go. Going to be a bit of a save scenario here coming out of VP. And while we have this time, as that utility is getting rinsed through, just to keep the CTs honest, going to be interesting to see how much Vitality have been able to fix in 4 days on their Inferno, right? Because it's a map that we knew that they were going to get targeted. The desk was just talking about it. There's a chance to be able to game plan for that, be able to work out a couple of maneuvers, and that's maybe all Vitality needs here to stay competitive.
This is great. So I think it's a contact flash. Shox will wait, or when he gets a whiff of your Kinder. I think ZywOo's thumb is sticking out. Bop. Oh, he gobbles it. Perfect. That's exactly the start Vitality we're looking for. And it was only the one deagle, so they're going to play hot potato with it. Kick at the next to equip. These MP9s, they went for 4 MP9s, Chad, so certainly going to hope that's the MP9 that's getting those kills up against these Glocks, and eventually it does come through for Shox. Second found, extra $600 in the bank.
Going to be harder to pick the deagle up now, and I think Shox knows that. Trying to deny, finds another, not going to turn in time. Buster's keeping this one honest, but
ooh,
hold up a second.
Awkward.
This is very expensive now.
Well, I suppose they're probably just, you know, it's a gift from the gods. They don't have to play with 4 MP9s into the next, perhaps.
It's just the money there is not going to be super high on Apex to reinvest, right? Shox is going to have...
he is broke.
Yeah, so now if Buster can make anything more of this MP9, we still have 25 seconds left. If they get a wriggle on right now, they get the kill towards Masuta top B, maybe they could even plant.
It's a maybe. 19 seconds. It's not going to be too much of a secret or a surprise that they finish B. But it is just Masuta, so here he comes. Sanji was his first, and Buster his second victim. Tidies things up, stops any of those weapons falling into enemy hands. Never mind a bomb plant. VP, just the one deagle invested, and they leave with at least 2 kills. Yeah,
that got a bit messier than Vitality were hoping there. So now guns will get dropped across. Apex back into one of those MP9. Shox straight out into the AWP. Alrighty then. Let's see how quirky this one gets.
Is he tossing that over to ZywOo? That's a shot.
I think he's going to keep it.
All right, my boy. Where's he taking it? Straight towards the A side. So that does mean that we're going to be seeing 3 lean B early. Virtus.pro on the offensive with the weapons for the very first time here in the quarterfinal. And it's starting second mid. A lot of pressure there. Safe passage, but not going to be victim to Shox's AWP down mid. That's for sure. They could swing on this. One from the pit, one from up top, and just as he looks away. Little info, Yakinda's flirting with middle here. Could very well lead to an early death if he pushes the issue. He is swinging on it. Oh God, the flash was good. Shox is booked. What are you supposed to do? He can't get out of trouble. ZywOo's trying to save the day. Just a single dink will do. Oh dear.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward timing there. It's not landing exactly how Vitality wanted, but Masuta's here to clean up top mid. Buster falls. We find ourselves in a 3-on-3.
Didn't Sanji have one of his career highs on an individual basis for VP on this very map?
That was against NIP. He absolutely bodied
He
them.
looked ridiculous. I saw like the Sanji Frank movie in the post-match. Here we go then. Just those MP9s. They are going to have to bolster their defense. It's 2 of them here. Masuta's locked off by the CT smoke, but Kickert's yet to advance.
They have 1 more smoke. That's it.
Yeah, it looks like Apex is already starting to get the hell out of dodge. It could be the right call. Kyojin's getting a lot of space taken from him. Cowering on the site. That long flank from Sanji is set in motion. And it seems the entire VP squad's coming with them. There isn't enough time to be fannying around through CT, so it will be an A finish. And only Kyojin. They've even smoked off Masuta's rotate, just the MP9. What can the new kid do? His first death. And it's a quick one. Sanji secures it. Sight's not going to be his for long. Good find from Masuta, actually aggressing through the smoke. And poor old Apex, the molly will at least isolate Jane, but it's not going to save the day. Tucked in on the box now, and that pit crossfire. Oh, God, even reloading in the open. Apex may just have to cut his losses. There was a Shoxy Orp mid. Is that the conversation they're having?
Yeah, trying to lock this down. James already here. He can sniff this one out too.
It was by quad side. Here we are. Apex. Lingering. Gets the fight. Jane will take it and the AWP as a reward.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm sure James is going to be licking his lips being able to get that one so early on. You could see with that VP buy, it was rifles and pretty skimp with Galil's in play, so upgrade straight into that AWP. Lovely as she likes, and Vitality might be on the end of an eco here. This biff towards top mid got messy, but you were right. It all came down to that timing. Shox, I don't know if he was overstaying his welcome. He got unlucky when he unscoped. Then that Molotov was still close over towards porch, so couldn't run away. Yakindo knew exactly what was up, and that's what made it such a clunky moment. It will be the force fight, not the eco for Vitality here, so upgrading into a couple of rifles, SMGs, and pistols as well. And Apex already under so much pressure here. Nades barraging towards top banana, and now here's what Kicker does best.
Yeah, he likes to find his gaps, and just as the flames fade, Apex is hunted. That'll be enough of a warning shot. Pulls utility out of both of them. It's a smoke exchange. Does Kicker go through? Oh my God, here they come. There's more smokes coming. Coffin smoke. Buster's opened up onto Apex, and now the site is his. Vitality, after fully investing, they can't surely go for like a bare bones retake. This round is essentially lost upon the single frag.
Ooh, Sanji's been spotted.
Yeah, that's something. Oh, Sanji gets the information in return. And they can have a spotless round here, VP. Trying to change that is going to be the Desert Eagles, I'd imagine. Masuta and Shox probably given a bit more license to try and hit a shot like that. Doesn't. And so the retreat's complete. And we have ourselves as close to, it's not a unicorn. What's like it should be mythological, but it actually exists. Like a platypus.
Yeah, actually, that was a perfect example. That's where my brain went as well.
This is a platypus round. It's
what
real.
A freak of nature, the bloody platypus is.
Yeah, I mean, what happened there, you know?
Yeah, you wonder, was it some kind of freak of nature that well, I guess, yeah, it is. It is a freak of nature, Chad. Good one.
Yeah, but there's lots of fun platypus facts. Let me just see what the internet has to say. There's something about their egg. Well, there's eggs.
There's something they have some poison going on down there.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. So you've been on the internet before as well.
I think I did it on the intranet. Now, this is how old I am. Back in primary school, we had an intranet, and I did a little piece on platypi.
You did a platypus project,
yes,
if you will. Okay, or platypi, or if they're plural.
I'm not quite sure which one is correct. Maybe that's something my brain should have retained. But here we go. VP have a very good
Say the smart things about the buy now, Chad. They saved.
Well, the eco and the cash and the money and the flow, the economy. And
nice.
But seriously, the save there is going to facilitate a bit more of a dicey round for VP to deal with. Buster immediately taking down Shox there, and that's one way to start the round. They've taken boiler control. Kyojin not too far away, and we saw what he was doing against G2 just the other day from this balcony and pit position. Was definitely holding his own. That Famus would have to get 1.5 at least to make this one spicy.
I just had a whole fictitious scenario in my head where Sanji got dropped to Galil and he was like, Master has given Dobby a Galil.
The thing is, when he was owning the other day, he was owning and then he was dropping like the AKs and then just taking pistols and SMGs. Yeah,
he's got 3 grand in the bank, but you know, of the one person in spawn that gets the Galil, you know, he's not saying anything. Thank you so much.
Well, maybe he just maybe on it, like if you ask Sanji
is a free elf.
What weapons do you prack? Do you use the AK or is that just like a luxury? Well, one man towards top banana here and it is the man. So we're mollied and flashed off.
Bloody hell, he's close to being hunted. Kickit knows exactly what's up, you brainiac. Yo, that's just a read of the game. We saw that with the X-ray. Kickit doesn't have it, but that's exactly how his mental picture was playing out.
And this is fantastic out the gates from VP early because I think, you know, they were cited that maybe some health issues or whatnot with VP when they were struggling there from Yakinder in certain interviews. But the note for me, at least with this roster, is that Buster and Kickit are now recontributing with entry frags, which takes the pressure off Yakinder just doing it all the time. He can be more of that flexible piece of the puzzle that's about to get a freebie. There you go. Not the crispy one tap, but doesn't need to be.
So what you're suggesting is that, you know, having your Kinder not necessarily be 50-50 coin toss alive or dead at the start of every round, it helps VP succeed more in the mid-round.
Yeah, if somebody else can just give him a little bit of a hand on those
space,
openings.
Someone else takes responsibility from him.
Then he either... Because you remember when we had this conversation with your Kinder, it was, I don't know, late last year, middle of last year, something like that. And he was like, oh yeah, we've got like 3 entry fraggers, right? Because he was like, kick it, Buster, your Kinder, right? They had a lot of aggressive maneuvers. Then you have James, obviously, on that AWP. I think that kind of went off the radar for a little bit, but now it seems to be coming back, and it couldn't be a better time here in the playoffs.
Now, Chad, I'm not being very observant today. Rushley, are you with us?
Yeah, what up?
Only for the first one.
That AWP is the same one Shox bought on round 2, isn't it? Or round 3?
I'll have to get my skin men on this to
Does it not say, like, does it not say Shox's AWP
I can find that out.
Green Wizard or whatever it's called?
Yeah, it's the Shox AWP Green Wizard Breach.
Green Wizard, I knew it was. All right.
Magical powers on that one.
Just keeping track, keeping tabs, so plenty of cash for VP to splash, fully invested, and Jane gobbles a nade. Have to add that to his MyFitnessPal.
They come with a barcode, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to enter it manually. Highly explosive. 55. This is a pretty bare bones CT defense. Now you can see Shox completely barren of util. I'm still counting 4 smokes, so VP, there we go. They pull 1 out of B as they throw one of their own. So an exchange, if you will. Actually, equivalent exchange.
This is good from Vitality, right? Not to be rinsing through too much of their utility early. Yeah, Shox is barren, as you mentioned, but the others are being a bit more stoic. So they're going to play this game with VP, and they're calling each other's bluff, right? So Vitality are holding on for some form of contact to then drop out their nades, and VP then are being forced to make that presence. So here we go.
Perfect timing, though, right?
Yeah, and 45 seconds left. This is about to get very dicey. Looks like it's going to be 3 players out the apartments, 2 up middle. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the A defense, and it is just Kyojin here, right?
Oh, poor soul. Yeah, he's got 3 very angry polar bears about to burst out of this apartment. He's actually positioning better here. As time goes on, Shox has joined him. He's read the situation. Buster's late flank could dismantle things. Shox tucks in. Good read from the French. And a great fragging from Kyojin. Takes all 3. A fresh AK for his troubles. James confirms his location, but this round falls apart.
Wants to keep that wizard in his hands too. So, of course, this is the James time that we're familiar with. Buster gets a chance to punish Apex here, but closing that door, he's going to be wrapping around. Scope might have been heard. Never mind. James will take him down, and that's the round done. So Vitality tie things back up 3-3.
I'm very excited about this, Chad. I just got a text from Anders Bloom.
Oh, dear.
He says, in capitals, Alex, I have platypus facts.
Okay, all right.
So we'll hold. I'm not going to hold my breath, but that is exciting.
When are we going to find out these facts?
Well, he's typing now.
All right.
They have 3 kinds of receptors on their rubbery beaks. Well, that's cool, Anders.
What do those receptors do?
Well, we'll learn as we go, won't we, Chad? For now, it is some recovered AK-47s and a 3-3 scoreline. Does tie things up nicely for the successful defense of B.
Some defuse kits in play as well for Vitality.
He's going to be tested this time, at least early. Molly forces him out of that corner, but he can patrol backwards and clear his lines. Lingering on this. Kyojin taking out pressure as well. Oh, Zaiwu goes forward, and it's nearly the collateral kick. It takes a whole lot of damage, down to just 14. Buster taken down in the process. I think his spinal column may have protected Kickett.
Looks like Apex has floated back over now towards CT spawn, so just a lot of pressure still on Kyojin and Shox. They passed the test last round. This time round, they only have to deal with 4 players. And VP continuing this slow crawl. Sanji up to the plate next. James going to flash him in for contact. Nobody home, and they're not even baiting util. This is very good stuff from Vitality here. They're keeping VP very, very honest.
Lovely. That's onto Sanji, tagged up as well. This utility is just rotting. At Virtus.pro, you can see the cancels are called, and they start to reposition. Yakinda floating through the apartments. If he could find a way in, they will commit, and it looks like they're starting to. With 30 seconds left, you have no info in Banana. You surely have to commit A, and there's 3 players waiting for you. And Kyojin's even got a spicy meatball of a one-way. He's got to be patient. And Yakinda does prove that he's coming from the apartments, and now Shox has been swung on. VP, this late hit. Oh! It's dismantled. Not another. Kyojin has done enough. The bomb is loose, and they only have 10 seconds. Kickett has to brave the bomb. 9 as they try and get the dunk down. The molly may spread, I'm not so sure. Kickett lives on. Careful on that spread, my dude. He actually got one tick down to 8. They have got nothing. 27 points of health in this 2v2. Now, against the AWP, perhaps not the biggest issues. I would probably cognizant the pistol could do. Masuta, 30 bullets of death in the M4. Kids? Yes. Yakinda for first contact. And he does take down Masuta. Saiwu one-on-one, not checking the comms. They couldn't work it out. He was checking the pit. And VP will overcome the odds. Late hit into A, and it does net them a 4th.
Yeah, and that right there, Vitality did everything right until Apex gets taken down from Yakinda. We might just have a look at this almost collat here in Banana, which could have been the seal of the deal there. But from Kyojin, the molly that's missed, the one that you can see in front of that bike position right there, a bit of a flub from VP, and that's 2 missed nades 2 rounds in a row. Previously, they missed that Moto smoke on their A execute. This time, it's not really going to matter. Yakinda winning a big round, and I think that slow play might force Vitality into either starting to go for some more aggressive maneuvers to find picks or some more gamble stacks in the late rounds. But here's Buster again, kick it as well, and they want to continue this pressure towards top Banana. You need to keep Vitality honest.
So this is just going to be a straight-up musketeer duel. Look, they're standing in the open. It's what the fight they waited for. It's actually worked wonderfully for Vitality. I mean, that is retro.
Oh, Yakinda's not getting away with anything here, surely.
Yikes! Had his pen pulled and he suspects shocks. Yakinda nearly completely leveled that boat. VP, though, starting to try and find some smooth sailing. James shot straight into Apex does keep the round competitive. And if Sanji, hang on, spotted and eliminated, Shox has done an awful lot there with the glass cannon.
There's so much time, though, for James to work this round out. Kyojin's taking top mid control. Shox is rotating over to help out the B bomb site, which is Masuda, who is the hero in those 2 opening kills. But if James can isolate one more frag and...
He's a smart cookie.
He's picked up the AK, though, so could get problematic here, especially with that AWP in CT spawn.
Smokes off Shox and a molly for the new box. This is great. Oh, but the fight's taken, and another for Masuta. 3 on the B defense. He has sent a very clear message. Every time we've seen VP test B, from pistols to weapons, one of those 2 signature B defenders has showed up, whether it be Zaiwu or Masuta. See that one again. Shox, 2 very important frags on his AWP, but Masuta not falling foul to the Jame attempt. He did isolate the Jules with that utility. 4-4 the score. We're getting back into things, and another sacrifice for Sanji. A deagle for me.
He's very lucky to have that right now. And Shox, well, he's only operating with a bit of an MP9 here. So both teams with some omissions in the buy. Utility exchange top Banana. Apex and Masuda towards the top. And this aggressive line being held from Zaiwu could profit here if they're lazy on their clears. Buster.
Well, they want to fight for this. They really want to fight for this. Masuta's coming for you. And he's already taken down Kick, and he's taken 2. Masuta has Banana under wraps. And that's not enough. Yakinda, a consolation prize at this point. The deep smoke, the Banana control is lost, and Masuta's taken 2 Virtus.pro members down and out. Re-smoking top Banana, that will really slow things down.
Yeah, very deep one right there. Now look, VP still have a lot of...
Hello! Oh, Yakinda has completely solved all problems. Jumps through the re-smoke. Apex can't believe it. And now Shox is feeling the pressure. They're already smoking CT. Good God, they've managed to flip this straight back into their control.
They have lots of smokes for this. They can smoke off coffins, no dramas.
Yeah, and Shox has already made it clear there's at least 1 CT here to receive well ahead of the rotate. He threw a smoke. They know he's here. James staring at the advance through that smoke. He can reposition, and now this after plant...
Look at Sanji.
It's ruined. Oh, God, not the... No! Oh, Zaiwu. He did manage to react in time. Shuts down the flank, and now perhaps they can live on to lock this down, pushing James. He wants to try and slow them down, and he's missed his shot as well. Vitality clawing back in, and they will take it. I thought Virtus.pro and Yakinda in specifics had done enough.
That was a very awkward finish there from VP. Extremely curious to see what the thought process was. Of course, they knew that the AWP was coming through Banana. James was hoping to take a bit of territory there, but it didn't feel like the play. He could have flashed and set up Yakinda to go for the aggressive maneuver.
Yeah, but can we all check out the Yakinda? Yeah, pushing through the smoke and finding that head so quick. Apex was even catching flashes from James.
I'd be curious with that little move right there from Yakinda. Was that only facilitated because Vitality threw the smoke so deep? If the smoke was in its standard position, maybe he wouldn't feel as confident because he'd be in more of a gray screen. So I think the Vitality gave him an avenue in there, but regardless, 5-4.
So they have 3 kinds of receptors on their rubbery beaks.
Okay.
1 senses electricity, 1 senses mechanical movement, and the third does both.
Well, I think Apex just did all three.
So when they hunt for shrimps in the rivers, they close their eyes and they time the difference between the electrical impulses in the muscles of the shrimp. They're like the proper aliens, dude.
Okay.
It's perfect.
They're otherworldly.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm glad we decided that, and that's the end of Platypus Facts. If you'd like to resubscribe to Platypus Facts, head over to @MachineGG over on Twitter.
Is it a long mailing list or?
It's just started, actually. Yeah,
right.
brand new Platypus. I'm just trying to, gauge the
Diversify a little bit in the
audience.
industry.
Yeah, well, precisely. I'm looking for more kind of Platypus fans.
This is the standard for VP here on these eco rounds. We discussed it a little bit before, but they're up to their same little hijinks again. And well, 55 seconds on the clock, over a minute already transpiring from round number 10. And same scenario here. Vitality, get the opening kills, drop back into passive lines. Couldn't be easier.
Letting that previous slip away will have left a mark, I think, for VP. I think they know that that was the hard part had been done.
It's like they hit the panic button as soon as they knew ZywOo was coming banana. Jane was like, I don't want to take this fight, right? And it seemed very odd that was the decision. Obviously, more goes into it. And now just 2 stand, 25 on the clock. And they do have to die. They are on the T side. They don't want to miss out on securing that loss bonus. It is just James. Couple of shots, Masuda takes him down, and continuing that good form we had from the group stages, Masuda now.
Yeah, well, if it's not a flash in the pan, that's something that Vitality could very well do with. I mean, you've got Apex and Shox. Certainly Shox is typically on analyst's tip of the tongue besides ZywOo, but to be able to have Masuda to rely upon that is going to do wonders, especially when integrating another brand new rookie into your ranks.
Yeah, consistency would be key here for Vitality.
I bet that's probably done wonders for him, though, to be honest, not being the rookie anymore.
Yeah.
He's the one that's giving tips. He's giving tips like, it used to be like this for me, man.
Yeah.
That's my Masuda impression, apparently. Here comes ZywOo, and not for long, he's immediately Molotov'd out of position, and Banana is lost. At least the information, they are heading elsewhere, and so is Shox. Aggressive AWPing in the apps. Kyojin to babysit. I'm not sure how long he'll last. Great spot and a better find. He takes the head off of Vikindar.
This is awkward now. Look where Shox is. He's still not turning around.
Yeah. Oh, he hears him. He knows he's back in the bedroom, and now the AK's recovered. It should be a freebie. No way. Apex has taken Buster. There's still a chance that this falls apart. Kyojin's doing more than you could have asked of him. And this is a lovely Vitality round. It doesn't get easier than that. 7th to be secured, and with all 5 hearts still beating. That is, unless Kickit can change things. Bomb's loose. He's lost all of his teammates in that apartment, and Shox still hasn't left. It's where he started the round. Maybe he'll be able to finish it there as well.
Yeah, Shox has had some miserable timing. Could have had a few kills in the last couple of rounds, and now going to peer out the window room. He's been spotted.
It's one of those games. One of those games. Fortunately, not one of those rounds for Kickit. Just the one head. 7-4. VP, they are knocking on the door of a nasty buy here. It might just be another Desert Eagle in play.
Yeah, they're not getting the bomb down a whole lot here either. If you take a little bit of a look on the scores and the doors, in 3 of the 4 rounds that they've won, yeah, they got the bomb down, but that was facilitated by Vitality being on those low buys, right? You can see rounds 4 and 5. So they were just holding on to those Deagles, the Famouses, that 1 M4 that they were carrying on through. And then for round number 9, the Diffuse coming in, and what was an interesting post-plant decision from the VP squad. But they've actually opted to spend a bit more cash. Shox flashed off the line. Straight up mid goes Jame, and he's got this AK-47.
Oh, there's another one! Shoxy timed just as he looked away, synchronizing his left swipe with James' left swing, and now he can do more than just swing. He can open up the entire bomb site. Kyojin's faffing around with his smokes. He's going to get swung on multiple targets. The M4A1 sings, and Kyojin defends. Could be finished off here. Looks like it won't be. Just ZywOo now and Masuda. Buster's taking a team shot. Now we do have our 1v1. Buster a bit low on HP. ZywOo late to the party and expected there could be a one-tap here. Is ZywOo wise to the games? Buster's even elevating himself. Uncertain as to the rotate from ZywOo. Oh dear, Buster's not so certain anymore. ZywOo, just by cutting noise, has given an open plant for his peak. Another fake. And just as he looks away, ZywOo stabilizes the aim and makes it 8. Could have got a bit of running away from them there, especially after another great performance from Kyojin. Keep coming to his pit. He seems to be thriving.
Yeah, he's doing more than we expected of him, right?
Right?
Filling the shoes of RPK. It's a difficult role just picking up and being an anchor player, but he's delivering time and time again. Look, he's the only guy on the site here. Shox is dead. The cavalry is coming. They're trying to push through the smoke. He has just bought so much time for this. And Buster's going to be feeling a little bit red-faced after this TK kill, but it was all in the flurry, and you have to go for those type of shots. So huge. Kyojin's impact being felt here in VP. Well, they will get the guns back out, but these aggressive stances. Shox is on it.
He's been spotted. Surely he's a dead man walking. Flashed off, executed. Rare to see that headshot angle used by James on the barrel. Team flash coming in as well. That was lovely. Quick reactive play from VP. Shox completely neutralized, and now a disadvantage for Vitality to stomach.
And this is where VP can really start to turn the screws, right? When they go back and forth and they have that style of play where they milk the utility over towards that B site, they'll come back towards A. They're going to leave Vitality here with nothing, but these slower approaches haven't been working for them, so maybe something a little bit more direct could be on the cards. Vitality are one step ahead. They've gamble stacked towards B. Zywoo's here. Masuda and Apex is... They're boosted towards the back of side. This is perfect.
Yep, it is absolutely perfect. Zywoo tries to get a shoulder to bait at least. They are looking his way, and it enables the boost for one. No, two! Masuda does it again on B. And he's still alive. He's lost Apex. Drops off of the boost, drops down a can of flames, and nearly a can of whoop as Sanji dinked. Zywoo is there, advancing now. The bomb's on its way as well. Throws it across. Sanji, get it done, boy. And that could be a problem. James missed his shot. Zywoo's already wide swung. He's being very loud about this. Oh, and James Molotov'd out of position, but has escaped. Now peeking in, another for Zywoo. Spotted out, executed by James.
Can he clutch?
It's impossible. Nice hold. James locks it down. 3 from the flamboyant AWPer of Virtus.pro, and they do save it. They convert the 4 versus 5, but not to Vitality's detriment. They did stack the right site and make it close.
Yeah, that was really close. I was expecting it to be drawn out, one of these 20-second affairs, and there we go. We see VP finally putting a much-needed round on the board. That is to stop the streak of 5 that Vitality have strung up here.
Check out the scores as well. The fact that I know we've been talking about it, we've been witnessing it, but Masuda and Kyojin at the top of the scoreboard for VP in a quarter-final game for Vitality against VP.
The bloody Vs.
VT, I think I wanted to call them. But regardless, it's a very good sign for Vitality fans across the world that these boys are delivering in this capacity. At the very early stages of this quarterfinal, this is just the first half of play, as we said, especially with the names in the server tonight. Expect a bit of a brawl. Could go a bit of a long haul as well. 2 best of 3s today. But just to round out our half, will it be the double digits for Vitality? It's still within reach. Virtus.pro to tie it up. 8-7, the best they can muster on this T side of their map pick.
Keep this in mind, Vitality have only purchased into 1 defuse kit here on Kyojin, so if the bomb does go down and that kit is lost during the round, we'll have that 10-second full defuse needing to come through. More pressure from Kick It now towards top Banana, and the 3-man stack towards B again. Masuda, Kyojin, and Apex this time round as double AWP A defense. You don't see that every day of the week. We've got Shox patrolling top mid, and Zywoo ready for a quick one over towards apartments. This is curious, both of which can't get run down. They need to hit a shot between them.
It does enable a very kind of hard committed 3-man B.
Oh, Zywoo's just backed away. So the timing with these AWPs is very unlucky on the CT side. If Zywoo hits a shot there in apartments, they might have scurried over towards Arch side, not expecting a double AWP. So this little maneuver won't get to profit. And more pressure towards top Banana, but the 3-man rifle stack is still here and still holding on to utility. Couple of mollies, couple of smokes. Things are looking very good for Vitality.
Like Yakinder and Sanji are going to try and sell an A fake, but with these scopes, I'm not sure how much information it will force. Kyojin's falling off. He left the boost. He's floating CT. The fake has at least achieved some of its goals. Yeah, Kyojin knife out, but now VP is second guessing. Fully receding and a 5-man gather now in Banana.
Apex still has a smoke, a molly, and a flash. That smoke's just gone out. We're at 30 seconds.
They're going to have to go through it. Or they charge to A. What's the play?
It's
oh my God, this is Inferno right now. 20 seconds. 20 seconds and they've changed the plans. Zywoo knows they're coming. He can ruin it all. Lets them bait the shot. He's missed his, and now they're in. Surely not. Another AWP to overcome. Shox lines up one. The bomb's in. Sanji pre-fires and has a couple of seconds to spare as the bomb goes down.
Oh, I know it's IEM summer, but I'm bloody starting to sweat with how late some of these rounds are. That is insane, right? They got to know. This is reaction calling.
God,
right?
that mini-map is just a nightmare, isn't it? Just watching the dots, the CTs, it's all about being in the right place. And they were at 20 seconds. They weren't at 15.
That is insane. Just the fact that they're willing to pull the plug that late. A lot of teams, when that banana smoke comes in, go, well, I guess we're going through. Because just the idea of trying to channel back up mid, we can see it was double AWPs. They had no idea it was double AWPs.
No,
they didn't come into contact with those AWPs at all. Imagine if it was just 2 rifles either side of mid. Brrr, that's it. See you later.
Or just got 1 on Cold Zero, 1 pit, and you're like, well, this is a meat grinder.
Yeah, that is insane that they were able to get away with that one. So VP stealing one away here, and that's to get their 6th. So this half is becoming much more competitive.
Certainly is. Final round of the half then. Let's get this one finished. Not so finished with a bang, at least for the CTs. Iwu is going to get to play with his big green.
It's not going to look pretty for the other two. Masuda can drop a FAMAS. He will do so for Kyojin. Shox into that MP9. On the other side of things, it'll be 4 AKs in the AWP. So the buy for round number 15 looking much better for the CIS squad. The French would love a 9th here. We knew that this was going to be the pick of VP, and we're expecting it to go that way. But this is competitive. It's very, very good signs for the series overall.
Iwu about to be double swung. Oh, he's ahead of the flash, but unable to get away. Caught in the open. Buster, full commitment on the trade. Feels like a B pin. A nice find. Masuta knocks the head off of Buster. There's more to come, and James close quarters, but still converts. Apex, he's getting pushed. Oh, Apex is not going to be expecting that, thankfully. No one's home, and as it fades, James the one that's caught out in position. A reaggress from Apex, and it's rewarded. Now Sanchi beheaded. It's 9-6 on the half. Okay, not bad, not a bad haul at all. VP take to the defense of their map. Inferno continues for our quarterfinal after the break.
Shoxy, welcome to the playoffs. It's great to have you here, and you guys are going to be playing off against Virtus.pro in a best-of-3 today. They are notoriously a difficult team to play against, and for a number of different reasons. What are your feelings about the matchup coming into it?
As you just said, it's gonna be it's not gonna be an easy task for us. First, we are happy to be in playoff. It's been some tough time since some months now. So it's nice to feel it again. Now our main goal, it's to go to the semis to, I would say, confirm that we are doing a good tournament and not just go through the playoff and just lose directly the first match. We'll be disappointed for this. So yeah, we are aiming for the win. Virtus.pro is gonna be hard because it's a CIS style, CIS team, and when you are coming from Europe, it's never easy to play this style because it's not a CS that I would say speak to us, you know.
I was watching the game that you guys played on Inferno against G2, and something that I noticed was how much importance it was when on the CT side, you were playing the arch position over towards the CT spawn, and you had to make sure that they didn't wrap around the A bomb side or they didn't sneak around into the B bomb side, even through CT spawn. That position, it felt like some rounds, if you got moved away, if you got pushed somewhere else, or if they just snuck someone through, that had a big outcome in that particular match. And I'm sure VP will have been looking at some of those demos. How do you feel about playing that arch position when you have to do so many things at once?
I like it. I like it because I like when you have a lot of decisions to take in a game or in a positions, and it's different comparing who I am playing. And I'm not gonna take the same decisions in front of a different team. So, for example, the decisions I took against G2 won't be the same that I will take against VP today.
Pretend that VP were listening to this interview. What do you want to tell them?
No, but I would say something funny. I would say that it's game time.
Well, thank you, Shox, for joining us. I appreciate it very much, and best of luck in the game.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Shox with his best Borat impression there. Loved that. And I'm looking forward to our second half. We are 9-6. Vitality are up in the lead. And as Shox was saying, a different game plan versus Virtus.pro, different opponent. And it certainly worked out well for Vitality on the defense. Different kettle of fish, Chad, coming on to the attack.
Yeah, 9 ain't bad on the half by any means here. And I think that Vitality have already surprised me on this map, one which I've seen them have some struggles on. So looking good for the French, but now that VP gets to defend, there is a little bit of a note here. Vitality have dropped the P250, not to ZywOo, but to Kyojin. So I'm curious as to how much they're hyping this boy up. We got the 1x bet odds at the top, favoring Vitality now, and okay, never mind, ZywOo can do it with the Glock.
He'll do it with the Glock,
Maybe spawn-based.
Now, I don't fancy Kickert's chances here as everyone has charged towards the A site. Yeah, trying to convince them with Glocks through the smoke, and it's worked
There's
wonders.
nobody at A. They all rotated.
Completely open for business.
This is going to be a 5v4 post-plant situation. There's no way James can stop this.
Yeah, he might catch ZywOo just dipping into towards the apartments, but that's such a peculiar way to have the round taken from you. Great fake, I suppose. Just throwing your bodies. Yeah, steps, shots through the smoke. And the frag onto Buster was all it took. Look at Apex. Look, now that's one way to hold the rotate. Oh, and Yakinda clears him. What? An Angelic strafe in, takes down Apex, and now perhaps the whole round is up for debate. They don't have a kit. They'd need to be on it in the next 10 seconds. Very time-sensitive mission. Headshots are coming in now. Kyojin's P250 is filling the feed in a very big way. 3 in quick succession. He's defended their honor. Vitality, it was up for debate for a second, but Kyojin justifies the P250 in his hands.
Wow, had a bit of a giggle there on the player cam as well. That is huge from him. This is wild, the fact that Vitality are getting so much out of this kid so early. Look, things didn't look great in the opening few tournaments, but the same was with Masuta. And now Masuta's top of the scoreboard. Here we go. Bish, Bosh, and a cute little bash. That is beautiful stuff there. That is what you want out of your youngster.
Oh, Dan is going to be so hyping him up as well. You know he gave him a little speech as the P250 goes to him. Yeah. You know, he's like, look, dude, you're looking great. You're looking sharp. He just saves the round, and he's going to get his in-game leader just shouting his ear off, I'm sure.
Oof, well, this is going to put Vitality in the best position they possibly could ask for. The force buy for VP, they break through right now, and Vitality could be running towards that 15 mark. How much resistance can VP offer here? 3 players top middle, couple Famises, couple Deagles.
Oh dear, Kicker's jiggle, and he loses his head. No smoke available, Jame only the one. And Sanji can't surely be planning to swing there. They're coming to him, and from behind, from all angles, Vitality have broken this force buy already. And Yakinda could be the next victim. He's tucked in. ZywOo is a diligent corner clearer. Will he check for Yakinda? Will he even advance through this line in the sand he has now drawn? He knows he's not only safe from the bomb radius, he's safe, comfortable, and doing his job. He has no reason to walk into that Yakinda Buster trap. But he might just be taking a little glance.
Oh, trying to lure Yakinda in here. He's done so.
Oh, and he gets the fight he wanted. Didn't get the result. And now 2 weapons to be saved. Yakinda and Buster worked on something quite nice here.
Shox is pressuring, so is Kyojin, and Apex is rotating from B. It's going to be dicey.
Not so sure they're going to hold on to. At least Buster's FAMAS is booked. They'll start to run now, and Apex should have the swing on at least one of them.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Pushing, and their hunting finished off by Shox. So that certainly works out well for the T side in the end, and broken now. VP have to take the eco.
Yeah, and look, you can say, oh, they got a bit expensive Vitality there, but the fact they took away everything is fantastic, right? Now they're going to be operating with, sure, maybe a couple of Mac 10s, maybe even Kyogen just wants to hold on to that P250. They don't need to fully invest because we know that VP need to keep this as conservative as possible. They need to take an eco. They just got one flash on the, make that 3 flashes. Quick kick it just bought into a couple on the way out of spawn. And right now just going to operate with these USPs. So Vitality here is set up for 12. This is looking very, very good for the French. Yeah, really just hoping here that they come towards B. Apex is already top middle. If we can just take a quick little look at Apex, he's scouting out. He's doing one of these classic in-game leader moves that we're seeing become more and more popular. Taking all this room on his lonesome. Meanwhile, his team are just fortifying Banana. And if he continues to crawl and clear and calls nothing home, the bomb might just be able to slink into A for free again.
Yeah, Apex is going to very quickly start realizing it's a bit too quiet over here.
Oh, they're committing Banana, though. The bomb's here.
Oh, they're walking into the stack. Fellas, James done damage. Takes the head off Kyogen. They are a bit shaken now, and Kickert's even found one with the silenced USP. Finally, it's pulled across the line. A little bit sketchy there. But 12, okay, deep breaths. Jane will whip out the AWP without hesitation, and we're getting back into the fray for round 19.
Now, this is where we're really going to see the intent behind Vitality. If they're able to get into the bomb site and get the bomb down, it almost has to be a save from VP, right? Unless we're talking about a 2v2 and maybe they know a lot of damage is done, but there's only one kit in play for your Kinder. If they get into the site and they know that they can hunt and take these rifles away, I think the hunger, I think that tenacity from Vitality will be felt here on the chase. But here's James, peering down mid with the AWP, flashed up, pushed off. Now we know the AWP's in play.
They smoked off half wall. Busters have managed to get himself on the half wall, so this is going to be very difficult for Zywoo to break. And Logs, he may not be expecting this. He's on the walk up on his own. In the off angle, great reposition. Shakes off your Kinder. Buster, fortunately, does manage to keep it even, just jumping off that half wall and calling upon James' services. I wonder how much James will push for info here, because there could be a bit of a black spot in their intel that leads to this 2-2 split.
Yeah, it's on Kick It.
They're coming in already. Just Kick It. Sanji actually providing support on that balcony. They are mollying him out of position. Oh, and another from Sanji. Solid defense so far. Zywoo's done more than enough for Vitality, but he lives on. Shox trying to pressure on towards this Hay Bale's position. They're coming in from Library side. The bomb's yet to be planted. Zywoo on site. Potentially isolated as the smoke phase. Buster will have a line of sight onto him. Shock still fanning around. Does have that AWP. Hard to contribute now on the T. 25. Zywoo's got one bullet left in the chamber. Oh, he's reloading in front of Buster's face. Shock's trying to bodyguard. James already caught the hunt. Great tap onto Kicker, but he's just locked in. How do you get out of trouble like this? There are 2 players staring at him. He will fall. And Virtus.pro lock it down straight back into a competitive game.
Yeah, much needed around there, and a big one. I think Super Sanji is in the server here again today. Sure, he's only up to 5 frags, but if he can keep having impact like that, he gave the buffer for Kick It right there, right? So we're going to need some more impact from Sanji here. If they want to keep this one competitive, huge one to find. Masuda falls, even able to pivot on in and get close towards that bomb site, but feeling the ramifications very quickly. A Vitality of those unnecessarily costly ecos from VP. There's a couple of Galils, couple of AKs. A little bit light on you two, and over towards Banana we go again. Yakinda pushing all the way down.
Oh, and not Apex again. He's going to start getting mad. That's an important trade. There could be more. Buster stands his ground with 10 HP. That is brave. And they immediately trade weapons and set themselves up into passive crossfire. This is Virtus.pro in hot pursuit of a competitive Inferno here. Free incendiary for Zywoo. He hoovers it up. And he's going contact right now. So if Sanji loses his head on his next jiggle, Zywoo, he's going off the flash. No one's visible. Oh, now they are. Shox is trading. Bomb will go down. Shox thrust into a 1v2. Jame in hot pursuit. Look how quick he is into coffins, loudly as well. Shox does play a thinking man's brand of Counter-Strike, and if he could just tuck in before Jame clears him, he's got a chance here. Strafing into Jame. First head found. And a magnificent start to the 1v2. He wants to fight this. Trying to catch Kickert. He peeks in, and it's Kickert that gets the better of him. Close, but no cigar. Not today.
That would have been some clutch there from Shox. Played that very well. You could see Jane was just trying to keep him corralled towards that side of the bomb site, but found the one avenue to get that opener. And, well, he shot first onto Kickert, didn't he? Puts him down to 48. And now I think we got a bit of a game on our hands. The money for Vitality is in question. The plant is good, but is it going to put them in the buy range? And this one just here, so you can see, down to 48. Very, very close stuff just there. Timeout will be taken. Opportunity here for Xtaz, the coach of Vitality, to chime on in. This is the second timeout from the French. And the question is, with the loss bonus in the next round coming in at 2,400, how much do we want to invest right now? Are we going to go for one of our gimmicky set pieces, right? What have we kept in the back pocket? Do we have something that we can pull out that we know is a weakness for VP and some of their CT setups? It looks like they have a bit of an idea here. 2 Tech 9s, 2 P250s, and a Deagle for Masuta, some Kevlar, and some head armor.
Could go somewhere.
Yeah, they could make something work with this, right? The fact that they've gone for 4 smokes, going to be interesting to see. This obviously could be used maybe for a late B execute, or are they going for one of these second mid setup and pop type maneuvers? Kickert's going to get some early info here. Nade out in towards second mid. Chips away at 3 of them, so good damage done. Classic Yakinda with all this space. A gap in the smoke as well is going to help him know that maybe not too much to worry about behind that. More utility being lobbed out now from this VP defense. And this might be the buffer Vitality are looking for to set on up. Masuta's smoke lined up for that long side, just to smoke off James' line of sight. He's pivoting before that one even lands. And they've actually gone back into a very passive stance. Now they have Yakinda so forward, Buster baiting for him. There's a lot more pressure applied over towards A.
A second up smoke, Chad, though. Like, they know exactly what's coming.
The waterfall's being predicted here.
Not going to stop him from throwing it at the wall.
Pushing.
See if it sticks. Yakinda is on that flank, and Apex not looking the right way. That may put a stop to things. Masuta cannot be throwing his smoke from the same pre-planned location. Sanji tested. They are slipping into pit. Kickert sees the cross and has the frag. Lovely lockdown from VP. James just has a shooting gallery. Zywa, you've slipped pit. Kickert knows exactly where you are, and now so does the entire squad. Hunted down. He'd love a headshot, and well, one has presented itself. That's the end of that, though. 4 people staring at you as you tap that A key. A 9 for VP. So they did certainly keep them on their toes there, Vitality. They drained the utility swamp out of VP. They're going to have full investments in that regard. But other than that, don't get that bomb down. And this was James' contributions. You can see, look at that. Exactly what any AWPer would dream of. Static, lovely, 1 by 1. And we're back into round 22. Let's see. The distinct lack of some of the extra bells and whistles now for Vitality. James going to be jumping across, as will Sanji. Maybe even get looking for that second mid info. Only Shox is home.
This smells like they just want to pressure B here. We might see a pop behind this half-wall smoke. Yakinda towards the top. Buster and Kickert are both here. So this is a bit of a stack from VP right now. A good util usage. They're going to own them.
Bit early on the incendiary, but he's still going to go and try and pre-fire. Zywu catches them. Oh, and another down as well. Kickert was not prepared for that. And now the whole brigade is on its way. It's only Buster. What are you supposed to do?
Wow.
Just run him down like a train.
Well, that is wild how that just completely fell out of control. It was looking so good for VP. They had the right stack. Everybody was where they needed to be. It was the fights. And as soon as they lost the first, everything just completely fell apart. And Sanji with an MP9.
When Hampus was talking about Vitality saying, you know, that some of their calls hinge on counting down and swinging together. Do you think that's rooted in truth in terms of how Apex and his leadership has led to their gameplay, or is it hyperbole?
I think if we look at some examples that we've touched on before during our cast, Overpass, where you see Apex, for example, kind of just leading the way through the bathrooms and setting the tone and pace, and then once they get to a point, it's like, well, this is the point of no return, we have to fight. I get that mentality. The same with Vertigo. I think an example Hampus did give, where they get top A ramp and then they just swing. Because what it does is it takes the nuance out, right? We're no longer playing chess. We're no longer forcing you where we want you. We're just going to come out and biff you, right? And if you're not ready, we will trade efficiently. We'll take the side, and as simple as that. And it is breaking Counter-Strike down to the bare bones in a way. And it's good for mixing up a pace. So yeah, definitely so. It's a play that Vitality have been able to make work. And this one, in this occasion, they were lucky that the frags came to them, but then you saw that after, everybody stampeding up, the good spacing, just the furious nature to get in towards that B bomb site and punish VP.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that feeling. Anyone that's played Counter-Strike knows that feeling of when it's your site, it's about 40 seconds, you hear the steps, and before you can say another word, you've got a bloody bullet in your head, and you're calling, the whole team's just saying save. You know, like that, you know that one decision, that one fight hinged on it, and Vitality just trundled into the site off the back of Kicker, who was just innocently trying to provide some additional util.
Yeah, that's the thing. For me, it looked so good. I thought that was a VP round every day of the week, and now they're going to find themselves in a rough spot. You can see here the purchases, Yakinda down to a Famis, and utility is skimped, right? We have smokes for everybody, but there's only 2 Molotovs. There's a defuse kit, but only 1. Very light on flashes. VP have just lost the upper hand in this CT side.
Bailed out by Zywoo's smoke. Masuta into the apartments, and it is being actively held by 2 members of the CT force.
Yeah, they're going to need an early pick here.
Oh, they even dink him. That is scary. James going to be very, very grateful to be still contributing in this round, albeit with a lower health pool.
Yeah, this is some big problems right now. The only 2 providers so far for VP, in all honesty, are James and Yakinda, both sitting on 19 frags. The next closest to Kick It and Buster, both with 8. So the only players producing at the moment in terms of multi-frags or impact are those 2 names, and one of which is already dinked on down. Yakinda flashed. He is in no man's land right now. A little bit of a spot on the jiggle there, so it gives him the chance to drop on back, but the hit's still coming. Here comes the smokes.
Okay, full commit. Just Masuta watching that flank. Oh, what a lineup from Buster just under the smoke, and he gets 2. Controls the spray magnificently. They aren't stopping, though. They look to trade off it. Kyojin does do so. Wasn't expecting Yakinda. And VP can't believe their luck, just running into the meat grinder. That's the other side of the Vitality coin.
Yeah, and that was one of the 3 names which I didn't mention on the Virtus.pro side that just showed up and basically secured a round single-handedly. So there we go. Somebody else for Virtus.pro able to contribute here. That's going to get Buster up to 11.
Actually see, just sees their little white trousers and Apex and Shox completely caught out. You can see the idea, though. You can see how Vitality can turn those rounds around in as quick as 2 trades onto that site. Kyojin giving a go with Masuta, just not this time.
Bit of a buffer here now as well, because Vitality have fully bought on in here. It's a Tech 9 for Kyojin, and that nade is actually doing a lot of damage into second mid.
It's rare that I see that one connect as often as it has here.
Trying to silently mount up in towards that window room here. You can see the little boost scenario that they were setting up, but now that they're scampering on back, it looks like this has been cancelled. So calling on the fly Vitality, and this is really where we're starting to see some problems, right? The CT side of game plan, they knew what to prepare for. We saw the way that they were punishing certain maneuvers of Virtus.pro in that first half, but now scrambling.
Yeah, completely rehashing the game plan. I think they wanted to take at least deny Buster's info top banana. They don't have to contend with the deep smokes we've seen earlier into the piece from VP. Yakinda's not got that info for free this time.
Only a minute on the clock, or should I say, still a minute on the clock, and we're only working with a couple of smoke grenades and a flashbang here. So for Vitality, this will come down to the headshots and being able to snowball.
Yakinda just takes a glance. That was very brave. Kicker's there as well for the potential trade. So many bodies in mid. And now Vitality have an advantage, and they seem to be going off of it. It's only Sanji on that pit position. It's working out wonderfully for Vitality. Here comes his first fight. Reading the sound cues as best he can. And he does go 1 for 1. Zywoo, a perfect trade. Now the site is theirs, and yeah, may as well save. 14 is found.
This is insane. It feels like VP are really trying to claw their way back into these scenarios, right? That mid pick felt very, very desperate, right? Sure, they didn't have a lot of information, and Buster had just been pushed back in banana. So what they were planning on doing was getting a little bit of info so they knew what was up. But the second swing is the one I'm more curious about, right? They swing, sees one there, all right, let's get out. But they fight and they don't trade efficiently. And, well, yeah, Vitality, as you mentioned, with the 14th. If they steal this one, and from what we have seen from Vitality so far in this event, especially from the likes of Kyojin, which is where he's looked very comfortable, Vertigo up next. Imagine a 2-0 here from Vitality. I don't think anybody would have had that one jotted on down as their prediction.
Yeah, no, certainly. Yakinda, James 20 each. Kicker and Sanji still pursuing that first 10. But Inferno, if it does fall to Vitality, it's going to be very... I mean, it's going to be almost a complete reversal of the odds. I think they were dead even coming into Inferno, but should Vitality take this pick away from VP, I don't know how much faith everyone has in Virtus.pro's Vertigo.
They're one of the very early adopters, and obviously we're going back in our time machine here. And look, I don't think that they're huge slouches on the map, but there's a reason Vitality have picked it here. They're feeling confident, and we're seeing the confidence already on Inferno. So expecting that one to carry through.
They can finish it here. CT's battered and bruised. Famas, Deagle, Yakinda, up to his usual antics. He loves a bit of aggression. Let's see if ZywOo ready for it. Super on the crosshair placement. Didn't even have to adjust. Beginning of the end now for VP. They swap over a rifle for the Deagle. He's double rifle set up on B. Bomb to be retrieved. Kyojin just getting a bit stressed. He tries to find and dig that one back out.
Can be pesky, that old bomb. Now it's pick your poison. They're going to get a...
Late boost. It's not bad. Like, VP have done everything they possibly can to make this disadvantage not hurt. They're even gambling on A. It's the right call to make. It's been too quiet for too long on B. And now, Sound Cues steps up mid. It's confirmation of their suspicion. Jane will be the first port of call. Smoked off on long, 30 seconds for this pop. Shock's late apps. And they go alongside. Jane baited out as well. Now he has to focus his attention elsewhere. Sanji's dipped into the apartments. Oh, it's working wonders. Everything connects for Vitality. Just kick it in the library, and Apex lays his own life on the line for that info.
Oof, all right. Well, this is looking like it's donezo. It's just going to be kick it, trying to... Wait, he's going for it?
They're leaving the site. They're already on the hunt. Imagine. There's no way.
Surely not.
No, Zywoo's cleared him. I mean, I'm just happy to see someone even considering it. Considering that little bit of that, perhaps the lapse in judgment. We've seen G2 fall foul. Vitality not going to be falling into the same camp.
Well, look at this. The loss bonus was only, what, 1,900 coming into this next round here for VP. So their money is well and truly in the bin, right? This is Deagle territory, Famas territory. Light util, just Kevlar, diffuse kit's not going to be there. This is Vitality about to steal away map number 1 and going into Vertigo.
Wow. The only difference they can make is on Yakinda's Famas here, as he has taken down Apex. A potential second target on his plate. Oh, caught out on the reload. Shox can finish it here. Buster's Deagle denies access to Banana. They still have managed to keep it at least favorable. 4 versus 3, as the second body, of course, has hit the deck.
Gaps everywhere right now.
Yeah, exactly. But Kyojin was not willing to try and investigate. And understandably so, his team wants to go B.
Well, feels like the right call as well. Sure, both of them are tucked in here towards the back of the site. Sanji can drop that smoke if they get mollied, but the way that Vitality have been playing, it might just be contact, you know?
Don't think ZywOo's going to let Nubox go unchecked. Don't know about you guys. This would have to be the perfect 1-dig. Synchronized. Now. Oh, can't hit it. Now they know. And now, Kyojin dying on A. That's going to surely channel them into this smoky Nubox. I like it. It keeps them guessing at least. 38 seconds. They know they're both here. They've heard the cacophony of AKs. Uh-oh. Masuta playing around that smoke. There's a gap to be exploited. Spotting them now, the first head, but will they expect a second? He's checked him. ZywOo has bailed themselves out of trouble. VP's advantage is falling apart, especially now ZywOo's made it 27. Catching Kickert's push. Swinging for info, it's all ZywOo. And Vitality have snatched away Inferno. That means an awful lot. Virtus.pro now on the back foot. They are on the ropes in this quarterfinal and will have to defend their honor on Vertigo. That's a conversation, though, for the analyst desk, and they'll be having that right after the break. Do stay tuned. Frankie and the gang after the break. Yeah.